Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Swastik, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can edit your photos from something like this to this. Let's get started. So in this process I'm going to use two softwares. That is, first I'm going to use Adobe Photoshop and then I'm going to use Adobe Lightroom. So Photoshop actually does the main job, and I'll be using Lightroom for the final color corrections and those kind of stuffs. And I bet there are ways in Adobe Photoshop to do the same what I'm going to do with Lightroom, but I don't know about that currently. And I feel that if you only want to play with basic color correction tools and the creative effects, then I feel that Lightroom is much more easier to handle and Photoshop is actually an overkill for that. So yeah, even if you open Lightroom for the first time and you import a photo, you can easily play with the basic color corrections and those kind of graphs and those sliders, and you can actually end up with a good photo. Let's get started. So hey everyone, welcome back to my PC. So as you can see, there is nothing much on my home screen over here, and here I am. So let's jump straight into Photoshop. Okay, so according to me, the first and the most important step while shooting a photo is that you must try to capture as many photos as you can, because if you have a lot of photos, you can never go wrong with them. But if you have less number of photos, then you might have a difficulty while choosing them. As you can see, I had selected 16 photos from here, but while shooting I had actually shot more than 30 photos, and out of those 30 photos I have actually handpicked these 15 to 16 photos, and here I am going to edit this one. So without wasting much time, let's jump straight into it. So as you can see, I had already imported the photo over here. So as you can see, I have clicked on the photo, and the first thing what I want to do is that I want to crop the photo from here, because I want to edit it in a portrait format, not in a landscape format. So I'll just press Ctrl F over here, because I actually more often I find that I don't actually know the positioning of the shortcuts over here. So what I do is that I actually press Ctrl F, and it actually opens with the Discover tab over here, and you can actually search for any of the tools you want from anywhere. So that is a big thumbs up. And yeah, you don't have to search from the shortcut icons over here, and that's a big thumbs up, real. So I'll just search for crop. So as you can see, crop tool, select it and just move the cursor from here to over here. And if you click and hold, you can actually have a look at these grids, which is going to help you decide the orientation of the photo and decide the angle which suits best. So another very important point, I actually just realized that I actually made a very big mistake while I shot this photo, and that is, while I shot the photo, I actually aligned my camera in the horizontal axis. And if you just previously know that you are going to ultimately preserve the portrait format, then it will be very beneficial if you just turn in your camera 90 degree and put it in the portrait axis. If you do that, you will ultimately be able to capture in a lot of details, and your pixels will not be just left away while you crop, and that is going to rapidly increase your image quality, and it is going to make your image a lot more sharper. Okay, so as you can see, I've cropped the image in a vertical format, and I also changed the angle of the image. So the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the Discover page, and from there I'm going to select the brush tool, and for that I'm going to press Ctrl F. It brings up the Discover page, and type there brush. As you can see, here is a brush tool. Okay, so after we have selected the paintbrush tool, I'm going to go here to the right hand side corner, as you can see, and select this plus icon. So as you can see, after I click the plus icon, it actually adds the layer. You can double click on this layer, or you can also right click on the layer and select blending options. That is the same, and as you can see, the blend mode is normal, and that's fine. And as I've selected this cyan color over here, and I'm going to draw a straight line, and then what I'm going to do is again hit Ctrl F and select the transform tool. So for that I'm going to type transform. So as you can see, free transform. You can also press Ctrl T over here to directly bring it up, but for that you will need to remember the shortcut keys, but I am very lazy for that, and just make it large, drag it and drag it. Just let me cover half of my face with it, and that's fine. Now right click on this layer and again go to this blending option, and from there you can actually now see the difference. I'm going to change the blend mode from normal, so I feel that the multiply option is doing a better job for me. And this actually depends on your wish and on your personal preference. If you want to change the thing and you want to experiment with various kind of things, you are most welcome, you can do so. And now let me press the OK button, and here I'm again going to go to this right hand side corner and add another layer, and here I'm going to select this orange color, and again I'm going to draw a line, press Ctrl F and transform. As you can see, free transform, the grid appears over here, and you can actually drag it and make it large, same as previous steps, to make sure it covers half of my face. Okay, and then right click on the layer and go to the blending option, and under the blend mode select whatever best suits you, and I feel multiply is again the best option for me, and select OK, and yeah, half of your work is done. So if you feel that you will need to again reposition and transform your layer from here, so you can actually select that particular layer and again press Ctrl F, select transform, and as you can see, you can increase or decrease the size of the layer. I can do the same for this layer 1 as well. As you can see, my computer is being a little bit slow. Layer 1, just press Ctrl F, select transform, and you can do the same over here. And I feel I need to decrease the size of this orange color a bit. Okay, so the next important step is that if you want to actually increase or decrease the brightness or the saturation or anything you might want of this subject, you can just select this subject over here and then increase or decrease the brightness, and I'm going to show you that now. So for that, select your main image. For that, this is the layer which I want to select, this background layer, and press Ctrl F and type selection, and you can select any of the selection tools. For me, I'm going to select this quick selection tool, and as you can see here, there is an option called select subject. After you select the quick selection tool, just click on this select subject icon, and it is going to automatically select the subject for you. Okay, so here if I zoom in a bit, you will be able to see that my ear is out of the range for a little place over here. So for that, I'm again going to press Ctrl F, and for quick selection tool, the shortcut is W key. So I'm going to press W on my keyboard, and I'm going to just increase. Okay, so as you can see, so here is a very important concept. So as you can see, if you want to increase the area, just you will not need to press anything, just hover over the edges and press and hold your left mouse click. But if you want to decrease the area, you need to do whatever you are doing with your mouse pointer, just you need to keep on holding your Alt key, and as you can see, just it is done. So now what I'm going to do is, as my layer is selected, then you will just need to go to this image section and then adjustment, and here you can see you will get the various options like brightness, contrast levels, curves, exposure and vibrance, saturation, those kind of stuff. So you can actually play around with all of these, and I can just increase the brightness of my subject and increase the contrast if I want. I can again go to this image section, adjustments, and then I can play with exposure, vibrance. So now you can right click on this mask section and then invert the mask. So here you can see the option select inverse, and it is going to leave your foreground and track your background. So now if you want to decrease the brightness of the background or do whatever you want, you can do so. Again, go to this image section, adjustments, and click on brightness, contrast, anything you want. I'm just going to decrease the brightness of the background, just increase the contrast a bit if you want that. Again, go to the adjustments and go to this vibrance and saturation. You can increase the saturation if you want to make the brightness. So you can actually increase the saturation over here. So I feel 30 is good. Okay, so now I'm going to add some fine details to the image, like I'm going to make my hair and my shoulders a little bit more dramatic to make it feel a little bit more realistic, and this is going to actually make a separation between you and your background. And to do that, just follow the steps. If you want, just add another layer and click on the blending options from there, and from normal select multiply, press OK, and then press Ctrl F to bring up the brush tool is here, and now as you can see we can draw on the image. So as you can see, what I'm doing over here, I'm just increasing the amount of shadows on my collars and my shoulders. I have just selected the paintbrush tool, and I have actually selected the color from this part of my skin, and I am just applying it over here. I don't know if you can feel the difference or see the difference, but on my monitor I surely can, and this is what is going to make the difference between you and your surrounding. So after you have drawn these lines, just make sure to zoom out and see whether it looks realistic or not. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other side of the image. So I again don't know if you can see the difference, especially on your shoulders. It is going to cast a shadow on your shoulders, and it is going to make you feel that the light is there. Okay, so now I'm going to apply a vignette effect on the surroundings of this image, and I'm going to make the background a little bit more darker towards the edges, if you know what I'm talking about. For that, select the main image, and this is the background for me, as you can see, and then press Ctrl F and type lens correction. So as you can see, I've got the lens correction tab over here. Just select that, and this window is going to be shown to you, and from here go to the custom tab, and here you can see this vignette effect. So just play around with the sliders. If you drag it to the left, I think the vignette effect is going to increase, and if you drag it to the right, the vignette effect is going to increase. So I'll keep on dragging to the left until I get my desired position. So yes, that is what I'm talking about. And you can also play with the midpoint, and you can press the OK button. So as you can see, from the previous section and this section, from a previous image and this image, the image quality has increased a bit and it looks more dramatic, I feel. And now I feel that I need to increase the brightness of the image again, and I mean the brightness of my subject again. And to do that, I'll again go to the selection tool, quick selection tool, then select the subject. It is going to automatically mask out the subject for me, and then I'm going to image adjustments and brightness and contrasts. As you can see, I can increase the brightness again. I'll go with 10 this time. Okay, so now I'm going to apply the healing tool. For that, I'll go to the discover page by pressing Ctrl F on my keyboard and then type HEAL, and from there I'm going to go to the spot healing tool and then select the main layer of my image, and then I'm just going to click on the black spots on my face, and that is going to heal the portrait for me. As you can see, it is as simple as that. Okay, so the editing part of this image is finally done. This is the image of the rings which I'm going to add on my body, and to do that, let's jump into it. Create another layer. As you can see, the layer 4 has been created, and then just go to your downloads folder or wherever the image is stored, and then drag it onto your photo. Increase or decrease the size of the image, and now right click and again go to the blending options, and from there you can select lighten, screen, color dodge, or any of the things you want. So according to me, the lighten looks the best. Select OK, and again when the layer is selected, you can press Ctrl F, then go to transform option. As you can see, free transform, and you can increase or decrease the size of the rings from here. If you have rings, the rings must start from the front of your body and then rotate around its back, right? And to do that, you need to erase the part of those links which actually lie behind your body. So let's do that. As you can see, this part of the ring actually lies behind my body, and this part too. So now what I'm doing is I've just selected the brush tool, and I've selected the colors from this part of my skin over here, and then just painting over my hairs to give it a little bit more of the glittery look. And I don't know if you are able to notice the difference, but yeah, it is looking a little bit more dramatic to me. I'm going to do the same thing for the left part of my face over here. Just select that particular layer and then go to the swatch tool, and then from the color speaker select the color from here, and now we just need to go to the brush tool. So there are multiple ways of doing the same what I'm doing in this video. Like I'm giving you an example. There is an app in Play Store that is known as PicsArt, and there are multiple tutorials on YouTube which lets you do the same within a couple of minutes. If you use that app, it will hardly take you more than 2 minutes to do the same what I'm doing in this video. But there you don't get to adjust the fine changes. Like what I did a couple of minutes back, I actually increased the prominency of the red light and the cyan light over my hairs and shoulders. If you want to do this kind of stuff, then it will not be possible if you're using the PicsArt app. So if you want to do these, I'll highly recommend you to choose some more powerful apps like Photoshop. Okay, so now I'm going to export the photo. As you can see, I have the option of exporting this as a PNG. So yeah, let me save it in my desktop, and it's going to export itself. So let me close Photoshop from here. So I've just closed Photoshop, and this is the PNG file what I have just edited in Photoshop over here. So just make sure to save the files in PNG, because PNG actually saves in a lot of data for you, and you get a lot of more details in PNG than you get in case of JPEG. And now what I'm going to do is, to make the final tunings, I'm just going to jump to Lightroom over here. So as you can see, I've imported my photo into Lightroom, and I've selected the photo, and now I'll press import over here. It is going to import the photo directly, and select it and go to these develop options. So yes, this is the photo, and from here you can actually play around with the various sliders like these highlights and shadows and those kind of stuff. So I'm going to increase the exposure of the photo a little bit over here, and I'm going to decrease the contrast. I'm going to decrease the highlights a bit, the shadows a bit. Just going to increase the blacks a bit. Okay, so if you are seeing this video and you edited your own photo and then uploaded it on Instagram or wherever you wanted, just don't forget to tag me in. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Links in the description provided below. And yeah, that is it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Peace.